तिलकम् ललाटपटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभम् नासाग्रे नवमौक्तिकम् करतले वेणुम् करे कङ्कणो सर्वाङ्गे हरिचन्दनं सुललितो कण्ठे च मुक्तावलिं गोपस्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपाल चूडामणि जगज्जालपालं जलकण्ठमालं शरच्चन्द्रभालं महादैत्यकालं नभो नीलकायं दुरावारमायं सुपद्मासहायं भजेऽहं तनाम्बोधिवासं गलत्पुष्पहासं जगत्सन्निवासं शतादित्यभासं गदाचक्रशस्त्रं लसत्पीठवस्त्रं सहचारवक्त्रं भजेऽहं रमाकण्ठहारं हृत्तिव्रातसारं जनान्तर्विहारं धराभारहारं चिदानन्दरूपं मनोज्ञस्वरूपं धृतानेकरूपं भजेऽहं जरादिर्महीनं करानन्दपीनं समाधानलीनं सदैवानवीनं जगज्जन्महेतुं सुरानैककेतुं त्रिलोकैकसेतुं भजेऽहं कृताम्नाय गानं खगादीशयानं विमुक्तिर्निदानं हरातिममानं स्वभक्तानुकूलं जगद्वृक्षमूलं निरस्तार्थशूलं भजेऽहं समस्तामरेशं द्विरेफाभकेशं जगद्बिम्बलेशं हृदाकाशदेशं सदा दिव्यदेहं विमुक्ताखिलेयं सुवैकुण्ठगेहं भजेऽहं सुरालेबलिष्टं त्रिलोकीवरिष्ठं गुरूणां गरिष्ठं स्वरूपैकनिष्ठं सदा युद्धधीरं महावीरवीरं महाम्बोधिवीरं भजेऽहं रमामामभागं तनानद्रनागं कृतादीनयागं गतारानरागं मुनीन्द्रैः सुगीतं सुरैः सम्परीतं गुणौघैरतीतं भजेऽहं इदं यस्तु नित्यं समाधाय चित्तं पठेदष्टकं कण्ठहारं मुरारे स विष्णोर्विशोकं ध्रुवं याति लोकं जराजन्मशोकं पुनर्वन्दतु मे। राम गोविंद हरे भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे राम गोविंद हरे राम गोविंद हरे राम गोविंद हरे भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे राम गोविंद हरे भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे जब तक साधन कछु नहीं लागत 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 खर्चत नहीं घटरी जब तक साधन कछु नहीं लागत खर्चत नहीं गडरी जब तक साधन कछु नहीं लागत खर्चत नहीं घटरी खर्चत नहीं घटरी राम गोविंद हरे भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे राम गोविंद हरे भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे संतत संपत सुख के कारण 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 जासो भूल पड़ी संतत संपत सुख के कारण जासो भूल पड़ी जासो भूल पड़ी जासो भूल पड़ी कहत कबीरा सुनो भले साधो कहत कबीरा सुनो भले साधो कहत कबीरा जा मुख राम नहीं वो मुख धूल भरी कहत कबीरा जा मुख राम नहीं वो मुख धूल भरी कहत कबीरा जा मुख राम नहीं वो मुख धूल भरी वो मुख धूल भरी राम गोविंद हरे भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे राम गोविंद हरे भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरे राम गोविंद हरे राम गोविंद हरे
Hari Om, everyone. Welcome back to our evening session. Swamiji will be there in a second. And before that, quick housekeeping rules. You all know that. You all done very well. So keep it up like that and do keep yourself on mute. And also, if you'd like to go to the next slide, questions to Swamiji, please do send it to this yagna@chinmayatlanta.com or to the chat option as well. We did get a question and we will pass that on to Swamiji. So feel free to raise any questions you have.
Hari Om to everybody. Let us all join in doing some opening prayers. वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। हरि ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। सब गाइए। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri 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 Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Syavar Ramachandra ki Jai. Here's a very famous bhajan of Sant Kabir Das ji. I don't know if you all have heard this bhajan. But he's telling, oh mind, chant the name of Govinda, chant the name of Ram. He's telling to his mind, or he's telling to all of us. But actually, he's really telling to himself. Oh my mind, chant the name of Ram. Chant the name of Hari. Chant the name of Govinda. Very famous. You can perhaps follow along. There will be somebody repeating here also. Bhajo re bhaiya Ram Govind Hari. Bhajo re bhaiya Ram Govind Hari. Bhajo re bhaiya Ram Govind Hari. Ram Govind Hari. Govind Hari. Bhajo re bhaiya Ram 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 Govind Hari. जप तप साधन कछु नहीं लागत. 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 खर्चत नहीं गठरी. खर्चत नहीं गठरी. खर्चत नहीं गठरी. भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि. 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 राम गोविंद हरि. गोविंद हरि. भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि. भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि. संतत संपत सुख के कारण,
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 जासो भूल पड़ी, जासो भूल पड़ी, जासो भूल पड़ी, भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि, भजो रे भैया
राम गोविंद हरि,
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि, भजो रे
भैया राम गोविंद हरि,
राम गोविंद हरि,
गोविंद हरि,
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि, भजो रे
भैया राम गोविंद हरि,
कहत कबीर राम न जामुख, कहत कबीर
राम न जामुख,
कहत कबीर सुनो वै साधो, कहत
कबीर सुनो भाई साधो,
कहत कबीर सुनो वै साधो, कहत कबीर
सुनो भाई साधो,
वो मुख धूल भरी, वो मुख
धूल भरी,
वो मुख धूल भरी, भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि, भजो रे भैया
राम गोविंद हरि,
राम गोविंद हरि, राम गोविंद हरि, भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि, भजो रे भैया
राम गोविंद हरि,
भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि, भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि. Okay, so today we're going to see now what we are calling as Kabir Vani, meaning to say that the great sage spoke many things in his time, and it was recorded by different disciples and different people. For those of you who have not heard of Kabir Sahib, I'll tell you that we all say Kabir Das. That is the current terminology which is used. All of us, you have heard that Kabir Das. But those people who are very, very ardent devotees of that great sage, they say Kabir Sahib. Sahib means more than Das. Sahib means Lord also. Master, like that. So he lived just about 100 years before Sant Tulsidas Ji. So he predates Tulsidas Ji, and he lived in the city of Banaras, which is current day Banaras. You can still go there in Kabir Chauraha and see his place where he stayed and everything. A lot of tourists go there also. A lot of devotees from all over the world, they go there. And I think he has been one of those great sages of the north who has penetrated all people's intellect all over the world, not only in India, but across the world also. And there are many big movements also on this great saint, Kabir Sahib. And what he spoke about, well, he spoke about every topic you can think about. That is first thing. And why he has become so well known and so famous? Well, anybody who challenges the status quo becomes famous, actually. One who challenges the current status quo, the way things are. And in his time, he saw a lot of superfluous actions, a lot of things introduced into religion and spirituality, which were there merely for business and money making and, you know, skullduggery, and so many things were there. And he challenged that thing. Like, for example, a person will not have a genuine interest in the spiritual part of the ritual, but the person will have an interest only in the financial part of the ritual, the person who is conducting the ritual. So those type of things, he saw too much of that. It is not unlike what we see today also. Very much that is there. So one who challenges that fearlessly, and this is how our Puja Gurudev also became so well known across the world, because of his fearlessness. Fearlessly challenging, because they are speaking the truth. So there's no fear. So like that, Kabir Sahib challenged all the different practices which he thought were inappropriate and, you know, which were going on just in the name of religion, but really had other ulterior motives and all of that sort of thing. And because of his fearlessness, he actually had no reservations about saying it, even in the harshest of words, if he has to say. That is one thing. Second thing is, you know, if a person becomes delirious, right? Delirium sets in. Sometimes you see in movies and all, that delirium sets in that person. And instead of trying to calmly talk to them, okay, no, sit down now, calm down now, sit down now. And then movies and all, sometimes you see they give one thapper, isn't it? And then all that delirium. In fact, do you know, Bhagwan also uses this type of technique in Bhagavad Gita. You please read that thing properly and you see there. Bhagwan, while he ordinarily talks to Arjuna, hey Tat, my dearest Arjuna, like that, right? While he ordinarily talks to Arjuna like that, in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna was overwhelmed with this delirium, there, Bhagwan shouted at him like anything, isn't it? My dear Arjuna, he shouts at him. Right? He calls him names also. You see how strong language. So there, sometimes some shocking words are required to bring that person to their senses. So this is very much true of Kabir Sahib also. He tells things in very strong words so that we'll wake up from our slumber, sloth and all that. So some people don't like that because he tells very strongly and all. But actually, sometimes the truth also pains. It hurts. But anyway, be it as it may, he has become very, very famous. So he wrote, I told you about all topics. Now, one topic which is very big in Kabir Sahib's teaching and his writings. We should not say writings because he himself did not write. Things which he spoke, it was documented by those around him, like that. So, but we can't get away from using the word writings. And that's why we gave the topic Kabir Vani, means his words. Vani is that North Indian dialect for Vani. Vani means speech. And in North they call Bani, right? Okay. This is not uncommon in this part of the world. Yeah? In this, all people in South America here who speak Spanish, all V also become B. Yeah. Same like not in there. All V become B. All right. So we gave Kabir Bani, means which he spoke. All right. And one of the topic I told you, which he was very, very well known for, is the topic of the Guru. Speaking very vehemently about everybody's need for a Guru. And the most famous verse in Kabir Sahib's writing, which I'm sure all of you would know about Guru. And that is the first verse in this we have seen here. And this verse is so famous that when I was sending it to Atlanta there, I made a mistake and I sent this verse twice. So it is here in the beginning and there's a few verses down below also. And whoever printed over there also did not see it as printed twice. But that's good because it's a very famous verse. So you'll come across the same verse again. Okay, so now see this first verse in your booklet there, you will have it. Let me pull it up again. There we are. I must tell you also that there are many recensions of the words of Kabir Sahib, and here and there you will find one word a little bit different, but the meaning comes out to be same. And one of the reasons for that is if you go from western UP like Vrindavan, Mathura, Agra, that area, and you keep going east all the way to Banaras and nearing Bihar and all that, you keep going like that. As you go, you have a little bit of difference in the dialects, and here and there a word changes. Means one letter or two letter changes, and two letters change, and like that you will find some different recensions, but the meaning remains intact. So here when I was going through, I realized I did not correct them in the traditional way, but let's see. Guru Govind dono khare काके लागू पाए बलिहारी गुरु आपने गोविंद दियो मिला गुरु गोविंद दो खड़े काके लागू पाए बलिहारी गुरु आपने गोविंद दियो मिलाय कबीरा गोविंद दियो मिलाय कबीरा गोविंद दियो मिलाय Guru Govinda do khade. Guru and Govinda, they're standing in front of us. And yes, and both are standing. Whose feet will I touch first? Guru is standing here, Bhagwan, Krishna is standing here. Whose feet I will touch first? Kabir Sahib says, I have to touch first the feet of the Guru. Because only Guru will tell me whether that is Govind or not. He may not be Govind. Do you know, Ravan took the form of Ram and came in front of Sitaji. That is there in some of the Ramayans, you know. So, who is really in front of Sitaji? Ravan. It's not Ram. So, the Guru will tell this person who is standing here, he is Govind or not? The other way for you to find out if he is Govind, you ask him, please stop the sun. And if he cannot stop the sun, and if he doesn't stop the sun, then you will say he's not Govind. But Guru will tell really, this is Govind or not. So now see, in other words, Now, Kabir Sahib did not invent this. He is expressing a sentiment which is there in this tradition. What is the sentiment? See, if you want to have creativity in your life, if one wants to have creativity in their life, one has to, means to say, the power to pluck things from the Akashic records, or whatever you call it, from the collective consciousness. You want to pluck things because you really cannot create. I told you in the morning class also, you're not creating. When I say I invented something, it just means I caught something which is already there. So if you want to have that power, that is Brahmaji's power, something which is unmanifest, he brings it into manifestation. Then you want to have that type of power and you worship Brahmaji. And if I want to be, if I want to have the power of sustaining and power of keeping things going, sustenance, then I worship Lord Vishnu. And if I want to have great destructive power, I worship Lord Shiva. I destroy all Kama, Krodh, Mada, Lobha and all from my heart. If I want to have that power of destruction like that, I worship Lord Shiva and they'll be destroyed because he only opens his third eye and everything. But here in this tradition, what Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwaraha. You worship Guru only, he is all three in one. See, your mind will be split in three if you have to worship all three separately. But you just worship, in other words, this Guru is embodiment of all three of them. This is the, so in this type of tradition, if Guru is standing there and Govind is standing there, the tradition says, first I worship Govinda. I'm Guru, and he'll tell me whether that is Govinda or not. And then in the next verse, that greatness of that Guru is again, see, Tirat kiye to ek phala, Sant mile phal char, Satguru mile anek phala, Kahe Kabir vichar. तीरथ गए से एक फल, संत मिले फल चार, सतगुरु मिले अनेक फल, कहे कबीर विचार कबीरा, कहे कबीर विचार कबीरा, कहे कबीर विचार. He said, Tirath gaye se ek phala. The other extension, Tirath gaye to ek phala. So if I go on Tirath, Tirath means I go to Kedarnath, Badrinath, I go to here Gangotri, Yamnotri, Ityadi, Char Dham, Tirath and all, I go, right? So if I go there, he said ek phala. I only get that one result of going there. Nothing else is there. Ek phala. Then Santa Mile Phalachar. And if I meet saints on a regular basis, I go on meeting like that, Phalachar, I get 4 Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. And that may be even Salokya, Mukti or something, anything. But Satguru Mile. But if I meet Satguru, I meet that real, true Guru of mine, they said, Aneka Phala. The result is limitless. Anek, countless. Kahe Kabir vichar. So the meeting of a Guru in our life brings infinite blessing, infinite results. This is the idea. How important is this Guru in our life? And therefore, how much regard we should have for this Guru and how important. Now see next, first maybe 5 or 6 verses only on Guru. I put that specifically there. See, he continues. कबीर आते नर अंध है, गुरु को कहते और हरि रूठे गुरु और है गुरु रूठे नहीं था अधीराते नर अंध है गुरु को कहते हरि रूठे गुरु थार है गुरु रूठे नहीं था गुरु रूठे नहीं था गुरु रूठे नहीं था कबीर साहिब से कबीरा ते नर अंध है any person who thinks less of a guru, there are people who actually, many people, not just one or two, many people who think less of gurus, oh, these all people who go to these gurus, these all people, they are bekar. Useless people. They go on, that guru is a man, here, this is what they say, but that guru is a man like myself. Why are all these people going to that person, These people are all blind and they are following this person. And they use Kathopanishad also, the blind leading the blind. They say like that. So, anybody who thinks less of guru like that, this guru doesn't know, these gurus don't know, these gurus are all such and such. And actually, the people who think like that, most times they're also not to blame, because they have found many bad examples also, isn't it? Every so often you do find people like that who mislead that whole flock. Bad shepherds who will mislead the whole flock. So then these people get good ground to feed on. And so they brand all gurus like that. But he says that person is blind who goes on speaking ill about gurus and who underestimate the greatness and glory of guru. That is the idea. Guru ko kehte aur means guru is a Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh in one. But they say otherwise about guru. Aur means they say this guru is useless, this guru is fooling people, there's so many things they go on saying. So anybody who does that, Kabir Sahib said, that person is blind. Kabir te nar andh hai, guru ko kehte aur. And then after making this statement, he tells how great this guru is, to buttress or reiterate what he had said in the first doha there. Hari root hai, guru thaur hai. That if Hari becomes displeased with me, Hari is also bound by his law of karma, isn't it? Hari is bound by law of karma. What is that? He is karma phala data. He is bound by law of karma. And that therefore, if he becomes displeased with me because of my karma, because he is karma phala data and he follows the law of karma, what? He'll send me to Narak. Correct or not? If Hari becomes displeased with me, the Guru can save me. But if the Guru becomes displeased with me, nobody can save me. Guru retain, night how? So the Guru supersedes Hari also in this regard. Because if Hari, there is fellow, you know that. You see, in Uttarkand of Ramayana, there's a wonderful story there of Kagbhushundi in one of his lifetime. Kagbhushundi was sitting there in front of Lord Shiva. Sitting in front of Lord Shiva, his Guru came from behind. And this fellow did not get up to do salutation to that Guru. Lord Shiva himself gave him sharp. And then the Guru sings in praise of Lord Shiva. There's a very famous stuti in Uttarkand, which all of you sing. he sings this famous stuti to that Lord Shiva. The Guru sings to pardon this Kakabhushundi. And then Lord Shiva, okay, already I gave sharp. But then Lord Shiva said, even though I gave sharp, you know, this, you'll be born in so many lifetimes from here to there, but you will remember all your births and you will have devotion for Ram. He gave also along with sharp, but this is one good thing about sharp, you can give blessings also. Yeah. He gave all blessings also to that Kakabhushundi. So Lord Shiva got angry with that disciple and he gave him sharp. But the Guru moved that Lord Shiva. Namami Shaimi Shan Nirvana Rupam. All of you know this very famous stuti, you see? The Guru sings such a soul-stirring stuti to Lord Shiva that moved him, and that Lord Shiva gave blessings to the Kakabhushundi. So if Hari gets displeased with us and gives us some sharp or something, Guru can save. But if Guru gets displeased and gives us sharp, then in Trinidad, for that thing we say Ram Naam Satya hai. He's gone. Because when people die, we say Ram Naam Satya hai. So if Guru gives that sharp, and lastly, about this Guru, and this is where now it comes in, it touches our Vedanta. But Tulsidas and our Kabir Sahib speaks profusely about our Vedanta also. Much of his teachings from Upanishad only. So far we have not touched, but here it's now veering in that direction. See this, eh? This next one. यह तन विष की बेलरी, गुरु अमृत की खान, शीश दियो जो गुरु मिले तो भी सस्ता जान। यह तन विष की बेलरी, गुरु अमृत की खान, शीश दियो जो गुरु मिले तो भी सस्ता जान। कबीरा तो भी सस्ता जान, कबीरा तो भी सस्ता जान। He says, यह तन, this body, विष की बेलरी, बेलरी means a vine, you know, a creeper. It's like a poisonous creeper. A very deep thing, huh? This body is like a poisonous creeper, vine. And Guru Amrit ki Khan. Khan is not Muslim name, eh? Khan means Khani. Khani means a storehouse. Eh? Khan means storehouse. A big mound of something, big amount, storehouse. So Guru Amrit ki Khan means he's a very storehouse of Amrit, nectar. So this body is like a vine of poison. And Guru is a storehouse of Amrit, nectar. He said, for such a Guru, he says, to get such a Guru, Shisha diyo jo Guru mile, to bhi sasta jaan. If I give my head for such a Guru, that also is a cheap price. Means I should be willing to also give my head. Now, why I say it is very much bordering on Vedanta is this reason. This body, and of how philosophical it becomes, this body is a creeper of poison. When you study, you will see. The vine means it keeps going on and on and on. That means from lifetime. I see when vine comes here, a new leaf comes up. Then the vine goes again, another leaf comes up. Have you seen? The vine goes again, another leaf comes up. So this body has been coming for countless births, and means the vine comes, the jiva comes, and another body crops up. It goes another, and from life to life, we are getting one body after the next. This is the first thing, like a vine. And vine is jiva is coming, and bodies are cropping up, birth after birth. The first thing. Second thing is like poison. Why it is like poison? Array, all a human being does is related to this body. And sometimes it is so subtle, the papas are so subtle, and we all get caught in that also we don't know. But it is all for this body. I'll just give you some simple examples to set your train of thought. You just keep thinking about it. Huh? Just keep thinking. See here. Right now, you all must be seeing on the news, and for the last little while, and even presently, you must be seeing on the news and seeing it on all social media and all international news and all that, right? Now everybody is clamoring about the great problems we are having with climate, right? You know, all of the flooding caused by global warming and the adverse global weather patterns which are happening unseen. This year in Trinidad, for instance, here in this country, we did not have any dry season. In Trinidad, the first 6 months is dry season, and the next 6 months is called as wet season. Here we have these two seasons, dry season and wet season. This year, 2021, we did not have any dry season. It was rains and floods the whole year. So now all of this thing is going on, and the adverse weather patterns are now affecting everybody everywhere. And also now they're saying, finally, it is affecting more all of the rich countries. So now people are taking cognition of this thing. Huh? Now people are taking stock. Oh, now see, unprecedented floods in New York and all of this weekend, how many people died? You see? So now this whole big global change in weather patterns and all of that is caused by the rising in temperatures and so many things. We are all causing this thing, right? And I'll tell you why. You say, oh, people are doing this and people are doing that. I'm telling you, it is all related to this body. It is related to this body if you trace that thing. You know, everywhere in this world, people want comfort for this body. So we go on producing, taking fossil fuel and producing so much of electricity so that we can power all our AC units and we can drive our nice big cars with all AC inside of these cars and everything, right? And so that when I sit there, what will get comfort? Mind or body? There's no AC for your mind, isn't it? AC is for the body. And we have these huge buildings, 100 stories. The whole thing has AC. And then in winter time, we heat the whole thing, isn't it? So we go on producing, taking out hydrocarbons, and we go on spewing into the atmosphere, burning coals and all these things. And we are, all of us, when we drive around, we are contributing to this. I'll just, yesterday, a few days ago, I was giving here in ashram somebody the example, real example. Okay. We have an ashram in mountain. So we go there every weekend or so. We go to that ashram. Now, right outside this door here, just about 20 feet from where I'm sitting, there's a vehicle there which is sitting. It's called a Toyota Land Cruiser. Toyota Land Cruiser. That Toyota Land Cruiser has a 4.2 liter engine. 4.2 liters. Huh? When we put $300 TT gas in that. We go to the ashram there once and come back. $300 TT. Just about 1 month ago, I put $20 TT gas in my motorcycle and rode to the other side of the island and came back for $20. Now see, when I'm sitting on motorcycle, there's breeze, and then there are things from outside and sound and all of that. So the body has to undergo, and there's heat, there's rain, this, that. The body has to undergo some more what you call stress and tension with outside. But when I sit in my nice car and AC, but I move from $20 to $300, and that is done for the body. What else? I sit in a nice seat, nice AC, and then there's nice shock absorbers and everything, and cushion seat and all that, right? Comfortable. And in your country, you have preheated seats and everything. You can press something and heat your seat. So all of this come for free or what? No. So all of us are contributing to all of these things, you see? So what I'm saying is all the papa that human beings commit, we commit connected to this body. You just have to go and see. In one side of the world, overeating. Other side of the world, no food to eat. Correct? And what eats food? Mind or what? Body. Tongue likes to eat nice food. So all papa eventually is connected to this body. So therefore it's a Vishiki Belari. This body is a vine of poison. And then Guru is the only one who has the Amrit, who could put an end to this poisonous sojourn of this Jiva. And therefore, to put an end to this thing, he says, if I have to give my head, that is a very cheap price, inexpensive price. How great is Guru? Because, and see, don't worry, you give your head in this life, you will come again. But you don't have to worry. When people say, if I give my life, what sadhana I will do now? But you will not come or what? Especially if you give your life for such a thing. You'll come. You don't worry about that thing. And then he says, if in the next verse, Sab dharti kagaz karu lekhani sab banraj sat samudra ki masi karu guru guna likha na jai. If I see what nice thing about Guru is, if I take the whole earth, this whole earth, see the size of our earth, and I make it into a paper. Paper, the whole earth is a paper to write on. How big the earth is. Lekhani Savanara, I take all the trees in the whole, on the whole earth, and I make pen. I make one pen out of it. And all the waters on the earth, and I make ink. So I have paper, I have pen, and I have ink. He says, even with that, all the ink, all the paper, and all the pen, such a huge Guru Guna Likha Najai, I will never be able to finish writing the greatness and qualities of Guru. How wonderful it is. These are all very famous verses. I can never finish writing all the greatness and glories of Guru with all the ink and paper and pen in this world. So Guru, this is how Bhagwan Ram is spoken about in Ramayana, isn't it? Rama Ananta Guna. Ram is limitless and his gunas are limitless. And so here also about the Guru also, I could never finish writing about that greatness of Guru. So this much about, of course, he tells pages and pages and volumes on Guru only. But now here is a wonderful thing for our sadhana. Very simple thing, but very profound. See this. Now next one. निंदक नियरे राखिए आंगन कुटी छवाए बिन पानी साबुन बिना निर्मल करे सहाय निर्मल करे सहाय निंदक नियरे राखिए आंगन कुटी छवा बिन पानी साबुन बिना निर्मल करे सुहाय कबीरा निर्मल करे सुहाय निर्मल करे सुहाय. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan talks, when you go to 14th chapter and all there, Bhagavan talks about maintaining balance. And at the end of the 14th chapter, we have to maintain balance in under all situations in life and take all things and maintain that equanimity and all that, right? In the second chapter, in different places. One who treats praise and censor in the same way. Huh? They call it Gunatita and all. You go and see that section in Bhagavad Gita. So now here, this is Bhagavad Gita teaching. Here, Kabir Sahib says, in this world, people will speak bad things about you. Correct or not? People will speak bad things about us no matter what we do. Somebody will say something. Even today, people say things about Ram also. Who are us? Ram shot him from the back. Ram sent away Sita ji. Ram, all sorts of things Ram did. Like those people who are speaking like they know better than Ram also. People speak like that. So this is how the world is. People will say bad things about us. And that is given. If you think that nobody, first of all, if you think nobody will say bad thing about you, or if you feel that nobody should say bad thing about you, both things are wrong only. So Kabir Sahib says, that person who says bad thing about us, he's called a nindak. The first word there. Nindak. Nindak nire rakhiye. He says, you bring that nindak, the one who is saying bad thing about us, right? You bring him. And the expression is very nice. What? In your angan, in your courtyard, you build a little kutir, a kutya, and you keep him there. Bring him and build a little kutya and keep him near in your own courtyard only. The one who is speaking all ill things about me. Anganu kuti chhawai. Then what? He said, bin pani, sabun bina. Without water and soap, you will be purified. You don't need any water, no soap. Nirmal kare sahai. Means we will become pure by keeping that nindak very close. What he means to say, and this is, and as I told you, his words are very philosophical and thought-provoking. What it means, when that person speaks bad things about me, and I get angry and upset and all of that, how dare he speak such things? He doesn't know who I am or what? And how dare he speaks such and such thing about me and said, I did this when I never even did that. And we have the examples around. See, when Swami Tapovanji Maharaj, when he told to our Puja Gurudev, you tore my clothes. You all saw that movie now? And Gurudev told Swamiji, when I got it, it was torn. You are lying. Then what Gurudev did? Because anything thereafter. When he told, you are lying. Anything that Gurudev does after that is really jumping up of the ego. Correct or not? And in front of Guru, I will allow that ego to jump like that. That cannot happen. Then what disciple he is? In the very same way, when this person says this thing about me, or that person says that thing about me, and I get angry and I get upset and this and that, that is nothing but the jumping of the ego. That ego was thinking, I am a very nice person. I am a very intelligent person. I am a very helpful person. I am a spiritual person. I am a divine person. I am this thing. I am that thing. And that person said such and such thing about me. So the ego was having one feeling about itself, and the person said something which is against what the ego felt about itself. And when the person said this something, that ego became hurt, and that hurt turned into anger or turned into some negative emotion. So that time, in that anger or that negative emotion, I give a retort. I give a reply. And then that is not a positive one, isn't it? I gave a reply or retort, and it's never a positive one, because in anger you will not do something positive. So Kabir Sahib says, what the best thing is to do? You bring that nindak and put him right here in your courtyard. Build a nice kutir for him also, and put a window. Put a window there so he can see you, and every morning he can tell you, hey, you foolish. And when he tells every morning, I'm foolish, he tells me I'm foolish to my face also. What that will do? That will go on effacing the ego. It will go on removing that ego slowly, slowly, slowly. And without sabun, sabun means soap. Bina pani, bina sabun. No water, no soap. It will wipe out, clean that ego. Then nirmal kare suhai. I will become, how wonderful words are there. I will become pure, purified. And this fellow who is nindak, who everybody thinks he's doing bad thing, he'll do me a favor. Not only that, he'll save the environment, no water and soap. That is called an eco-friendly sadhana. So this is a very easy thing to keep. Not a general thing. What the general idea is in this, let me tell you before we continue. The general idea in this thing is, usually human beings think of those things which are good for them, they think it is bad. And those things which is not good for them, they think it is good. This is the problem. But then nindak is good for me. Actually, that fellow will do me a favor. So I usually, no. This fellow, and in English language, we have nice words also. He's, for these type of people, he's called a snitch. I don't know where we get all of these creative words and all. So we think this fellow is not good for me, but really, Sahib is that. And this now is to be generalized about all things, not only nindak. What we think is, look here. You know Karela? Karela you cut and you cook and you give to somebody, not Indian person, other type of person. You cut and you give to them, you eat this thing. And when they taste, what they'll say? What? You want to kill me? This bitter thing you give. So that person does not know that that thing is good for them, isn't it? It has so many benefits. So it's a general thing, not only in here about Ninda, but generally human beings are like this. This thing is called a delusion. This thing which is good, he thinks, no, 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 no. But then you give him some junk food. You give that person some junk food, then what? Wow, 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 wow. Now you're seeking my interest. He'll tell, isn't it? So the idea is, this idea is tied to that bigger idea of human beings in general. Human beings, whatever is good for them, they think it is bad, and whatever is bad for them, they think it is good. We have to go on thinking like, go on seeing that thing. Yeah? All right. And here, just now, as he was talking, I was telling you about that ego. The ego is like this. It holds on to anything to give it some support so that it can strike. You know, I read someplace where sage was telling, when we get knowledge, knowledge is like a stick to help me walk. Knowledge is not like a stick to beat somebody. You know the difference, right? Knowledge is like a stick to help me walk, not like a stick to beat somebody with. In other words, the knowledge, I should not go on flaunting knowledge and showing off my knowledge or this, that kind of thing. Because what happens, the ego is waiting for opportunities like that. It gets knowledge, or it gets wealth, or it gets power, or it gets fame, or something, right? When the ego gets that, it holds that now and uses that as a stick to. The ego is very adept at doing this thing. It's very good, skilled at doing this. So that ego has to be looked at very, very carefully. No, I have to pay so much attention to this ego, because this fellow will try all sorts of tricks. Even a sacred thing like Upanishad Jnana, the ego can take that thing and beat people. Therefore, I have to pay close attention to that ego. It is waiting for anything to catch, to beat. So now here, this ego again is spoken about, and see in what fashion. Now this, I told you some of the verses are very strong verse. See. बड़ा भया तो क्या भया, जैसे पेड़ खजूर, पंथी को छाया नहीं, फल लागे अति दूर। बड़ा भया तो क्या भया, जैसे पेड़ खजूर, पंथी को छाया नहीं, फल लागे अति दूर। कबीरा, फल लागे अति दूर। कबीरा, फल लागे अति दूर। Here it is speaking about a person who has become bada. Bada means big. Now, I told you just now, that person will become big what? By, he got a lot of knowledge, he got a lot of money, he got a lot of power, he got a lot of fame, name. Something made him big, okay? Bada. He became big. So, bada bhaya, to kya bhaya? This question. So, you became big, so what? When we became big, only what he means to say, only the ego has caught on to the knowledge, or the ego has caught on to the money, or the ego has caught on to the name and fame, or the ego has caught on to the power. One fellow, you know, he was striving to that. He wanted to become CEO. CEO, Chief Executive Officer. So he worked and worked and worked and worked for years and years, and he became CEO because he saw, but there is a lot of power, you know. And so he was sitting now in the top office of that skyscraper, with glass windows and looking over the city and all, in a swivel chair. So he sat on his swivel chair, swiveled around, looked over the city, and said, I have made it finally. Soon as he said, he was looking over the city, he heard a knock on the door. Hey, somebody has come, he thought. So he cannot just be seen there doing nothing. He's CEO, you know. So he quickly picked up the phone. And then he told that way, yes, come in. And then he went on talking here. Fake conversation. Oh, no, went on talking. Yes, don't worry. I will come to that meeting next week. I'll be there and I'll bring 2 attendants with me also. Please make sure you have everything ready and all that. Okay. Yes, sir. Can I help you now? He said, yes, sir. I have come from the telephone company to connect your phone. Just because he became CEO. Because he became CEO, he has to now appear. A busy person, and he has to keep that person waiting there also, and all. So many things. So the idea is, when he gets the power, the ego grabs that power, and now the ego uses that power to, in American language, push people around. Have you heard that phrase? The ego uses that power, that money, that fame, name, whatever. Ego uses it to push people around. So Kabir Sahib is saying, Are look here. Look, don't let, do you know? You have to see this, our Ram Bharat Milap in Ramayana. Bharat is coming to meet Bhagwan Ram. And Lakshman tells, Prabhu, what is wrong with this Bharat? Now that he has gotten power, he now king of Ayodhya. Now he has gotten power there. Now his mind has become corrupted, because power corrupts and absolute power corrupts. Absolute. Now his mind has become corrupted. Now he's coming here. He thinks if he kills both of us, he will rule freely with no obstacles. I know what Bhagwan Ram tells to Lakshmana. Hey, Lakshmana, you know, a mosquito may quicker blow away Mount Sumeru. A mosquito just poo and blow away, that will quicker happen than Bharat becomes corrupted by power. It means Bharat is certainly not capable of being corrupted by power. But Bharat is the ideal and the vast majority of human beings. So, Bada bhaya to kya bhaya? He's asking. So you became big because you got some big thing in the world. Then what happened? Becoming, you see, acquiring this knowledge or this wealth or this power or that position or this name or this fame, acquiring any of those things does not signify any change or rehabilitation in the ego, does it? It doesn't signify anything. That in fact, it signifies the reverse. That ego will quickly become corrupted by that acquisition. So how careful I have to be to watch and make sure that that ego does not become corrupted by any of these things. So he's asking that question. So if you have become big, so what? Like there's a question like that. Huh? So what? Jaise you are no different than Jaise per khajur. Per khajur is a date palm. You know date palm? The palm tree. Then where you live, you don't have palm trees. You come here, you'll see nice ones. The ashram everywhere we have. So tall date palm trees, right? He says what? Panthi को छाया नहीं, फल लागे अति दूर. See, the tree has become, he's comparing this tall date palm tree. It is tall. So this is like a person who has become big. So now the tree is so tall, one, what you call, yatri. Yatri is coming. Yatri in English? Traveler. One traveler is coming. And this tree is so tall, and just few leaves on the top there, it cannot give shade to this traveler. Then the date palm is so tall, it cannot give him something to eat also. So it cannot give him shade, nor can it give him anything to eat. Neither I can give. So it will have become big, but give what? And that happens only when the person has allowed the ego to ride on the acquisition, whatever he has acquired. When the person allows the ego to ride on that acquisition, then only this problem comes. But if the person, like Bharat, if he doesn't ride on any acquisition, he can never ever be corrupt. It means he can never ever be not helpful to a person in this world. He always will be helpful. Always he'll be loved. Always he'll be sought after, like that. Always he'll be compassionate towards all. So the verse is, and the teaching is not against becoming big, means I acquire all of this knowledge, all of this wealth, all of this name, fame, power, position, whatever. It's not about, it is not speaking against any of those things. We go on acquiring anything, whatever. Hinduism doesn't teach anything about, no, you should not acquire this and should not acquire that. That's not the teaching. Acquire whatever. Make sure that that thing does not corrupt the ego, or that the ego does not use that thing as a stick to beat anybody in this world. This is the teaching. It's not against acquisition or anything. And the next verse is the repetition of the first verse. This is what I was telling you. The other verse there, it is repeated. So then we already did that one. Let us see now. And here is a very nice treatment for this ego in the next verse, and now which we have to see. Treatment for the ego. This will be our last verse today. And then we'll see tomorrow. See, treatment for the ego. How nice. बुरा जो देखन में चला, बुरा न मिलिया कोई, जो मन देखा अपना, मुझे से बुरा न कोई, मुझे सो बुरा न कोई. बुरा जो देखन में चला, बुरा न मिलिया को, जो मन देखा अपना, मुझे से बुरा न को, मुझे से बुरा न को, मुझे से बुरा न को. He says, this is actually Mahabharata. This is a Mahabharata story. You all know that. It is said once the Guru sent Yudhishthira, and then he sent Duryodhana on this side. He told Yudhishthira, you go there and find me a bad person. He told that Duryodhana, you go there and find me a good person. But you all know that story, very famous story. Yeah? And what happened? Yudhishthira went in this world looking for a bad person, and he could not find any bad person. And this Duryodhana went in the same world looking for a good person, and he could not find any good person. Because of the characters, you know that. So that lesson is, so here he said, and now this is coming again to what we are talking about, treatment for the ego. He says, Bura jo dekhan mein chala. I went in this world looking for a bad person. I went into this world looking for a bad person. Then Bura na miliya koi, and I could not find any bad person anywhere. जो मैंने देखा अपना, and when I looked into my own mind, I realized मुझसे बुरा न कोई, that really there is no other bad person in this world than me. This is, now see, let me tell you something. This type of thing you cannot tell to Western people, you know. You know why? They will say, no, 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 no. This is negative thinking. What you are doing is you're going to cause depression in my mind, you know. You should not teach this thing. But it is not to be seen like that. Huh? It is to be seen that my ego needs treatment. And everybody's ego needs treatment. Huh? Our ego needs treatment because the ego goes on rearing its head in various forms. It goes on and on. And one of the things which it uses in a very subtle way is to think that I am greater than everybody. And this goes on in very, very subtle ways in families also. Huh? It goes on in families also, among spouses also. No, this spouse doesn't know anything. One spouse will think of, and the other spouse thinking the same thing. That is going like that. No, 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 this one doesn't know. And this one doesn't know. So each person, so in other words, each ego is rearing its head in its own way. You see? So what I have to think, no, first let me calm down. My ego is rearing its head in these ways, and I'm thinking, no, this person doesn't know. This one doesn't know. This one is not, you know, like this. The ego goes on telling like that. So what I have to see, now I turn the gaze of my attention on my own ego. But you know, if I look for my shortcomings, if I look for my defects, and I look sincerely, I will find countless. And then I realize how big a work I still have in front of me, isn't it? I still have so much work to do. So he said, I looked into my own mind. What a very sincere verse of Kabir Sahib. Jo man dekha apna. When I looked into my own mind, I realized that there are so many shortcomings and defects and so many doshas. And that is the very fact that I am here and I have not gained mukti is itself another dosha, isn't it? The very fact that I have been coming for lifetimes upon lifetimes with all of this ignorance, and I am here. These are defects, doshas, shortcomings, which I have to work on. And actually, this is one of the main reasons why we don't have mukti. Because I'm too busy, occupied with other people's doshas. I'm very much busy with the defects and shortcomings of other people. Oh, this one has this, that one has that, the other. And because I am so consumed by that, so taken up by that, I never pay attention to my own defect. And so I don't erase them, and therefore another birth. So what you were doing in your last birth? Swamiji, what to tell? I was paying attention to other people's, So all of us are guilty of this thing. We should not be paying attention to other people's defect. We should be paying attention only to all our shortcomings. And if we look sincerely, nobody has to tell. Our case is so far gone, even when somebody tells, we deny. Huh? If we look sincerely, nobody will have to tell. I will find his defect by myself. When some guru tells also sometimes, I find a cover for that. No, Guruji, you don't understand properly. It was not like that. We also find an answer, a reply to Guruji also. So we have to go on looking now at our own mind and realize that my own mind has all of these shortcomings. My journey is still yet so far. Why should I be bothering about this one and that one and the other one, what he has, what she has, what they should have and what they shouldn't have? And that is wasting time, and it doesn't do anything. In fact, what it does, it rivets and strengthens my own shortcoming, isn't it? It's a very, very nice instructional verse. Next verse, a very famous one that we will see tomorrow. Very famous verse about this world and how people live and all. Okay, so there are many nice dohas like this. We can go on and on, but we'll see. All right. So now announcements and all will be there, and then we can have closing prayer. Huh?
So, Hari Om Swamiji, Shekhar ji will be doing the Aarti, Swamiji.
Aarti, you all are singing Aarti there.
Yes, yes, Swamiji.
Huh? Okay. All right. Well, let's have Aarti and then closing prayer. Or you'll have announcements, then Aarti, then closing prayer. That's better.
Okay.
Announcements.
Hari Om Swamiji. Hari Om. This is just a reminder for everyone for tomorrow. Again, we will start at 6 a.m. with the yoga by Sainathan ji, and then we will all assemble again at 6:50, 10 minutes before, for the Kaivalya Upanishad satsang by Swamiji. So please be present for that. And also, as we were telling you, the questions to Swamiji, you could actually put it in the chat box or send an email, like we showed you earlier on that. There you go, yagna@chinmayatlanta.com, or put it in the chat option, please. Okay, we'll go with the Aarti now.
कौन गाएंगे?
आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की आरती सद्गुरु की चरणों में उनके शांति समाए शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए पाप ताप संताप हरण की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की आरती की चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की सिद्ध बारी की तपोभूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे भक्त हृदय आनंद ज्योत की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।